Welcome back to our channel, The Fortunates. If you're new here, subscribe to this channel, and if you find this video worth it, please like this video. Today we will discuss a very well-known dimensionless number, that is Reynolds number. You can also follow us on these platforms for regular updates regarding the channel, handwritten notes, and the content that we have on our YouTube channel. You can access the same content on these platforms also, and the links are in the description box. So without any ado, let's get started. So this Reynolds number helps us to know how the fluid is flowing. Now this Reynolds number depends on two forces, that is the inertial force and the viscous force, which finally comes as rho v d by mu, where rho is the density of the fluid, u is the flow speed, d is the diameter, and finally mu is the dynamic viscosity of the fluid. So by looking at this formula, one thing is clear, that it is dependent on two parameters. One, what type of fluid we are dealing with, or what is the condition with the fluid, and finally what is the surrounding condition, like where the fluid is flowing. For example, is it flowing on the flat surface, or is it flowing through a circular pipe, and all those things, etc, etc. Now we have to understand these two forces also, like the inertial force and viscous force, because it will help us to visualize like what is happening in the fluid. So inertial force is the force that acts because of the momentum of the fluid, which finally means that it always acts in the direction of flow. Whereas the viscous force is because of the friction between the two layers of the fluid, and it always acts opposite to the direction of flow, which means the inertial force and viscous force always act opposite to each other. So the fluid flow condition is decided on the basis like which force is dominating. Here we will discuss the surrounding conditions. So by looking at this formula, that is nRe is equal to rho v d by mu, where d is deciding the surrounding condition. So looking at the flat plate, d is equal to L, where L means like from where the fluid has started and finally where we are analyzing the Reynolds number. Talking about the pipe, this d will be equal to the inner diameter of the circular pipe. But when we comes to other type of shapes, like the rectangular shape is there or square shape is there, at that time d will be equal to 4a by p, where a is the cross-sectional area and p is the parameter where the fluid is in contact with. And finally, the annular duct, where d will be equal to the outer diameter minus inner diameter. So when we go for any technical discussion of any term or topic, we should also know the nearby terms related to that topic. So in this case, in this dimensionless number, the two common terms are the laminar flow and turbulent flow. So in fluid dynamics, laminar flow is characterized by smooth or in regular paths of particle of the fluid, and the fluid flows in parallel layers, that is with no lateral mixing, with no disruption between the layer. Therefore, this laminar flow is also referred as streamline flow or the viscous flow. Whereas if we talk about the turbulent flow, the fluid layers cross each other with a very high lateral mixing. There will be irregular movements also. So when we talk about the turbulent flow, we always look from the perspective of the recirculation or eddies or randomness in the fluid. Okay, and in the case of laminar flow, the shear stress is dependent on the viscosity of the fluid, whereas in turbulent flow, it is dependent on the density of the fluid. So talking about the favorable conditions in the laminar and the turbulent. So in the laminar, the favorable is that when you will decrease the velocity and increase the viscosity. You can see the same thing in the formula also. We have rho v d by mu. So if we decrease the velocity and increase the viscosity, we have reduced the Reynolds number, which is favorable for the laminar flow. Whereas in the turbulent flow, we have to decrease the viscosity and increase the velocity to make it favorable for the turbulent flow. And finally, if we look at the examples, so we have in the case of laminar flow, we have like honey. You put the honey on some plate or any flat surface and you will see how the fluid is flowing. How the honey is flowing is, you will see it's a very smooth flow, which is equivalent to laminar flow. Whereas turbulent flow means we are talking about the ocean currents or the flow in our arteries. Okay, and yes, one last thing, the laminar flow is also referred as the streamline flow because it follows all the conditions that we have in the streamline. Here we have some standard values of the Reynolds number, and for the flat plate the critical Reynolds number is 5 into 10 raised to power 5. So below that value the laminar flow will be there, and above that value is the turbulent flow. In the pipe, the Reynolds number should be less than 2100 for the laminar flow, and it should be more than 4000 for the turbulent flow. And the Reynolds number formula change in the packed bed and the stirred vessels. So in the packed bed, the Reynolds number is rho v s d by mu into 1 minus void percentage. So in the packed bed, this Vs is the superficial velocity, and this velocity means that the packed bed is empty and you are flowing the fluid. So at that time that is the velocity, but when we introduce the material also, at that time this velocity get increased by Vs divided by 1 minus void percentage. So the Reynolds number will change a little here. If you look at the stirred vessel, it is equal to rho n d square by mu, where it will be dependent on the agitated diameter and the rotational speed. So after having the discussion about the Reynolds number formula, the basic definitions, and finally the sum of the standard values, we can conclude the Reynolds number with the physical significance, where the Reynolds number means it will help us to know that which force is dominating, which in results finally change the fluid behavior. So for the case of laminar flow, the Reynolds number is less, which in results the viscous force are dominating, which will in results give a smooth and constant fluid motion. Whereas if we talk about the turbulent flow, the Reynolds number is high and the inertial force dominate there, which in results give more eddy formation, vortices, and the fluid instability. That's all for this video. Thank you very much for being with me till the end of this video.